Welcome back to Python MC. In this section, we are going to show you a solution to the makeBeat experiments coding challenge, where we had an error before if a user gave us sort of bad input. So let's just run our code here and see how this works. So we're just going to go ahead and do what we did before. We're going to hit OK, and we're not going to type any. Well, this time let's just type in hip hop trap hop, and then they'll just to double check that it's running as it did before. And we run it, and then of course it searches through all the beats using the sound search. But this time let's give it nothing, like no input, just blank, and see what happens. You'll notice it does take a little bit longer to run, but it does end up giving us it does actually end up running successfully. And so what it's done here, this is just a solution to the problem, not the only solution. The first thing we did on line 51, we checked the length of the query, and then we checked the length of the original beat. And this is how we use that information. So you use len, L-E-N, which is the method for checking the length of a string or a list. And then we just say if the query length is less than 3, so if the len of the query is less than 3, let the query equal like a slice of the original beat name or the original sound file name. So we could change this to less than 3 or less than 5. We can make that whatever we want. This is just to control runaway queries that just literally query our entire database. So if query equals original beat, then what it's going to do, so it's going to take the hip hop trap hop, and it's just going to slice that by half of its length. So it's going to take the first half of that. It's going to go index or slice it from 0 to half of its length. And so original beat length is the length, or using the len method of the string for that hip hop trap hop. So we counted that out. It equal around 23 or so characters. Then it's just going to cut that in half. So you're going to get up. Basically, it's going to equal 11 and a half. So it's just going to therefore search for sort of the first 11 characters, which works out to basically hip hop and trap. So it's going to be a longer search, because instead of searching for hip hop trap hop, we're searching for hip hop trap. But it'll work, and you'll notice we have a lot more tracks. We had roughly 10 or 12 before. Now we have like 47. So it's a little bit more than we want. So you can play around with how you want to sort of make sure your query is not too long or capturing too much information. But we can then run this code, and we can see now it's going to run perfectly fine. We're going to do that again. We're just going to hit OK. It's going to now just search for hip hop trap. So it's going to search for the first half of that sound file name, and then it's going to drop in all these beats, and you'll see it works perfectly fine, allowing us to experiment with the same beat pattern in makeBeat, but dropping in a bunch of different similar tracks with a similar name, so we can run a bunch of different experiments. So you can see it works perfectly fine. Get into it, play around with the code, make it your own. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you again on Python MC. Python MC.